Again, guys, we want to hear your comments all throughout the night tonight. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're watching the game from. Got some big games around the state. To go ahead and give you a heads up, next week we'll be back in South Georgia to bring you Fitzgerald and Cook, which, if everything goes as planned tonight, could be for the Region 1 AA championship, but that'll be next week. Tonight, we've got a good one here to call tonight. So the Wolves have won the opening coin toss. They'll defer to the second half. I want to say hello to Dottie Almeida, who says, let's go Buford. Jamie Franklin Thomas checking in with us tonight. My buddy Waylon Polk is checking in from St. Louis, Missouri.
High School would like to thank everyone for attending tonight's game as we welcome in the Dacula Falcons to take on your Buford Wolves.
Will Lott says, are you doing coffee versus where? Not planning on it. We are not scheduled to do that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to look to the north end
As
zone.
the games that we do have scheduled for you for the rest of the year, we know that, again, we'll be at JC Stadium in Fitzgerald next week, and then in a couple of weeks, we'll be traveling over to Richmond Hill to bring you the Colquitt County Packers and the Richmond Hill Wildcats. Looking forward to those two games, as we are looking forward to tonight's game. For the Dacula Falcons, got a sophomore and a freshman quarterback. We're probably going to see DJ Quarry. He's the sophomore, but they have played Garrison Cantrell a little bit. He's a freshman. Obviously not a whole lot of experience there at the signal caller position for Dacula. Lost their first 3 games as here come the Wolves making their way onto the field from the north end zone. As I was mentioning, Dacula lost their first 3 games. Their wins have come against Tucker and against Central Gwinnett. The Central Gwinnett win was last week, so they are coming in here with a little bit of momentum with that win. Buford, of course, as I mentioned, every bit as advertised. I do this thing called the Pick Six every week as part of our ITG Next newsletter, and I had picked Buford to win, but I expected it to be a defensive affair. I had picked Buford to win 14-8, so I had picked them to win by 6. They won by 12, and it was anything but defensive. Buford, of course, got out to a big lead in that game. And as Brian Appling told us on the Buford Coaches Show this week, and, of course, I'm sure you've heard about it as well, they pulled a little bit of everything out of the hat. So much for the run left, run right, run up the middle Buford conventional offense. They were anything but that last week. Coach Appling said he did admit to us that the fake punt, kind of like a good fish story. It kind of grew a yard every time somebody talked about it. It went from the 3-yard line to about the 10-yard line. Nevertheless, a gutsy call for the head coach of the Wolves. As we are set to go here, ITG Next game of the week. Hope you'll sit back, relax, stay warm wherever you are. It is a chilly night here in northeast Georgia, where we are high atop the home press box for the ITG Next game of the week. Buford, Dacula, and here we go. Kickoff going to be taken inside the 5-yard line, over the 10, 15. Going to bring him down there, short of the 20. There's a host of Wolves that'll stack him up and drive him back. So we're going to see Dacula go on offense first tonight. And again, Chancellor, we're going to see 2 different quarterbacks tonight. Jerome Newland is the starting running back. Starting wide receiver, Armani Ephraim. So here we go. Dacula, the Falcons, going to take over to start things off from just inside their own 20-yard line and their own 19, 1st and 10. Up to the line they come. And we are going to see the freshman, Garrison Cantrell, starting at quarterback. Well, that's a tall order against the Wolves, isn't it? He'll take the snap. He'll hand off. A little bit of running room. Couple of yards over the 20 to about the 22. number 51, and number 6 for Buford. That's number 51, Nico Maggio. He's a sophomore. Also in on the tackle, Kobe Blackwell, the junior linebacker, making the tackle for the Wolves. They'll give him 3 on the carry. Second down and 7, just underway here in Buford. ITG Next Game of the Week. Thanks for watching. Split backfield, a back on either side of Cantrell. Looks like a busted play. And he'll just have to eat it, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Stop was made in the backfield by Edric Houston.
That was a busted play there. Cantrell expected to give it to a back, expected a back to be there. There was none. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long now for the Falcons of Dacula. Coming in here at 2-5, 1-1 in the region. Juan Daniels checking in with us. Juan Daniels. I bet you the house who he's rooting for tonight. His son, great quarterback here at Buford, of course. Now playing for the Cardinal of Stanford. All right, here we go. 3rd down and long. Juan, thanks so much for checking in with us tonight, brother.
There is a flag. Delay of game is a call against the Falcons.
So we got a delay of game on the Falcons. Again, guys, this is my first time seeing Dacula. In fact, first time ever calling a game with Dacula.
New line of scrimmage is the Dacula.
Remember, we called the Buford-Marietta game earlier in the year, so we've had a chance to see these Wolves. That Marietta game was a little surprising, 14-0 win, but I tell you, it was not the runaway affair like a lot of people expected. All right, so after the 5-yard mark off now, it's going to be 3rd and even longer. Freshman quarterback Cantrell will take it. Quick toss. It's batted down and incomplete.
Was tipped by Tyshawn White.
So after gaining 3 yards on their first play, they go backwards from there, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Falcons. Yeah, Waylon Polk says Daugherty Trojans lost last night. You're right. I did see that. Dottie Almeida, by the way, is watching from just down the road in Gainesville. All right, so here we go. Punting situation. Back deep for Buford. That's number 7, Tyshawn White. Here's the left-footed punter. Going to be taken by White. Right up the middle he'll go, and he'll take it to the 35.
The punter was Nicholas Benpong. Punt was taken by number 7, Tyshawn White.
So White able to take it and give Buford good field position at the Dacula 35-yard line. So Buford, under quarterback Dylan Whitkey, will come out. 1st and 10, their first offensive possession of the night. Whitkey, the senior quarterback, has played pretty well. He had a rough game a couple of weeks ago. Going to fake the jet sweep. Run pass option, going to keep it right up the middle, Whitkey will, and take it for about 4 or so to the 31.
Stop was made by number 11, Jaden Bethia.
Going to bring up 2nd down. They'll give him 3 on the carry. 2nd down and 7. We're just underway. Just underway first quarter here. No score. This is Buford's first possession, though. Whitkey going to bring a man in motion. Going to take play action. He'll roll out on the bootleg. Looking. Now he's going to turn it up and run it. Got some running room. Going to be brought down about 1.5 yards short of the first down. Making the tackle over there for Jonathan Williams.
Brought down just short of the line to gain, and it will be 3rd down.
All right, so here we go. Going to bring up a 3rd down and short. They're actually going to mark him back at the 28-yard line. So didn't get quite as far as I had thought there. So it's going to be 3rd, and we'll call it a long 2, 3rd and 3. Needed for the first. Handoff, there's Justice Haynes right up the middle. He'll have the first down. taking it down close to the 21. Boy, he is a good one, guys. The son of Veron Haynes. You'll see an article I wrote. It'll be upcoming in this week's newsletter as far as who is the best player in the state. Now, of course, that's strictly opinion, because you could probably say there are several players. Travis Hunter, I think, unanimously was the number one player in the state, but I make the argument for a couple of backs. Be sure to check that out in our weekly newsletter. I'll give you a hint. One of them is number 22, who's going to get the carry again. Off left guard. He'll go across the 20 to about the 19.
Brought down by number 48, Simeon Bulware.
I'll give you another hint. The two players that I talk about as possibly being the best players in the state this year, you will find the similarities uncanny. All the way from football fathers to yards that they've gained, where they are as far as rankings go. I hope you'll find a good read. Going to give it to Haynes again, so they're feeding him, trying to break it outside. He'll get to the corner, and he'll be brought down at the 10. Making the tackle over there for Dacula. William Green, another senior. They are senior laden except for on offense. That's going to be a first down for the Wolves, and that's going to be a first down inside the 10 where they'll mark him. It's going to be first and goal to go. So Buford looking quite efficient here on their first offensive possession of the night. Of course, they started at the 35, so they started with pretty good field position. Whitkey. Single back, that's Haynes. Now man in motion, going to give it to Haynes. Trying to break off a tackle. He'll shed one man, but not another one. Going to be able to take it about the 8-yard line. Williams again on the tackle. His second consecutive stop on Haynes.
The play gain 2 yards.
Going to bring up second down and goal now for the Buford Wolves. 6:30 left to go in the opening quarter. No score. Dacula got the ball first. Couldn't do anything with it. And now here's Buford threatening to score on their first offensive possession. Here come the Wolves now up to the line. Second down and goal. From the 7. Whitkey going to fake it, going to bootleg out. He's got room to run. He'll run it. And going to be they're going to be brought down at the 2.
Dylan Whitkey on the quarterback keeper was brought down by number 48.
48. That's Simeon Bulware making the tackle. So going to bring up a third down. We'll probably see the big package come in for the Wolves this time.
Reach the end zone, and it is third down and goal.
So third down and goal for the Wolves. Probably going to see them line up tight formation, bunch formation, and try to pound it in there, and that's indeed what we've got. Well, here we go now. And we've got whistles. Check the call. Dacula's coaching staff saw something they didn't like, so they run out there and they take the timeout. That'll give us a chance to remind you, if you love high school football, and of course if you're watching this game, you do love high school football, be sure to check out my live podcast every Monday and Tuesday at 5 o'clock right here at the ITG Next Facebook page, where we talk high school sports, but right now, of course, mostly high school football. That's at 5 o'clock every Monday and Tuesday. Extra Point with Phil Jones. Again, we make the show about what you guys want to talk about. We engage with you guys, listen to your comments, and whatever you guys want to talk about, that's what we feed off of. In fact, let me hear from you tonight. Stephen Tate is checking us out. Stephen, we almost had Stephen Tate come with us, Mr. Producer. Stephen Tate always taking good care of us, big coffee fan. Okay, here we go. It's going to be third down coming out of the timeout. It's third down and goal, Buford from the 2. Let's see if Dacula can hold here. They're going to give it to Haynes right up the middle. No call yet. There it is. Touchdown, Buford. A little bit of a late call.
Buford.
But Buford, Justice Haynes going to get it in there on the 3-yard carry on 3rd and goal to go. So the first score of the night comes at 5:25 from Justice Haynes. You can see, of course, the light show that's going on here. Laura Espinoza, Dacula fan. That was a good play by Simeon Boulware on that play 2 plays ago, but not able to keep Buford out of the end zone. Point after attempt coming up. It's up. It's good. So your score, 5:25 left to go in the opening quarter. It is Buford 7 and Dacula nothing. See if we can also give you guys some scores. If anybody has scores tonight, be sure to feed me those scores. We'd love to hear from y'all. We've got Valdosta trying to stay unbeaten in 7A. I tell you, they have been probably the surprise team. Not surprising that they've done well, but it's how well they have done. I think that has surprised everybody.
Kicking off for the Wolves is number 95.
So 7-0, the score. As here's the kickoff now. Going to be high and deep, but returnable from the 5, 10, 15. A little bit of room, 20, 25. Look out, 30, 35. Going to take it up to the 40, still on his feet. But here come the Wolves special teamers to bring him down there.
Kickoff was taken by number 2, Armani Efrio.
So a nice return by Dacula.
Number 21, Devin Williams.
Is going to give the Falcons pretty good field position here on their second offensive possession of the night. As they'll come out now, first down and 10. The ball spotted right at their own 40. 7-0 to score. Buford on top. 5:13 to go. We're just underway if you just joined us. Derek Tuthill says, I hope my Falcons can pull an upset. Little crossing route there, complete for a nice gain of about 7 yards to the 47. Nice little throw and catch there. Tough to win at any level with a freshman, be it high school or college, unless you have the freshman phenoms. And Cantrell, though, was doing a good job as he did on that particular pass. This time he'll hand it off. Not much. There's a great backside tackle made that time by Edric Houston. Boy, and he is a stud. We could probably say that for 20 of these Wolves, if not more. They are loaded, and that's the understatement of the year.
Let your defense hear you. It's third down.
All right, here we go now. So Dacula, 3rd down and 3. They're going to split a couple of receivers out far to the left side. Cantrell going to take it, going to hand off. Going to be brought down short of the first down. They had to reach the 50. He's going to get up to the 49, so he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So as Coach Vogt, the Dacula coach, Riverboat Gambler, no, sir. He says, hey, we're only down a touchdown, so we're going to punt this one away, or at least that's what they're going to show. Well, you can hear Wolves fans, coaches telling them to watch the ball, watch the fake. Here's the snap. They are going to fake it. Fake punt. Exactly what they were calling for. Dacula says they got it. Depends on the spot. It's right at the 50.
The ball carrier for Dacula was number 11, Jaden.
And they're going to say first down. Give the Falcons credit. Now, I'll give Buford credit too. They were expecting it. I just said you could hear their coaching staff, you could hear fans, everybody saying, watch the fake, watch the ball. Now, I'll be honest with you, they faked me out there for a second. The punter really sold it. But it was taken by the up back. Fake punt. So Dacula and Coach Vogt, he is indeed a little bit of a riverboat gambler. So they fake it. Thomas County Central 7-0 over the Houston County Bears. Big 6A matchup at the Jackets Nest tonight. Lee County, Northside, Warner Robins tonight. That's going to be a big one. As we start now to get into the nitty-gritty part of the season. Region play is underway. Big region matchups. I mentioned earlier Valdosta making the long trip over to the coast tonight to take on Camden County. Again, a reminder, guys, you can hear several of our coaches' shows, including the Buford Coaches Show with myself and Coach Brian Appling. We also bring you the Josh Niblett Coaches Show with the Gainesville Red Elephants. Boy, they're doing well this year. Josh Niblett coming over from Hoover High School in Alabama. 1 of 12, well, I guess I could say 2 of 12 coaches shows that you can hear right here at ITG Next and yours truly. Phil Jones with you, play-by-play. The ITG Next Game of the Week has us at Buford for tonight's big region 8 7A battle between these Falcons and the Wolves. Falcons just pulled out the razzle-dazzle and faked the punt, and they've got it. 1st and 10, ball right at midfield. Play action. Cantrell going to unleash it. Long, incomplete. Going to be a flag call for pass interference on Buford. I believe that's going to be K.J. Bolden going to get called for the penalty, reaching over. Stephen Tate says that was a gutsy call. I like it. Stephen, I do too, buddy. That is going to be K.J. Bolden, who turned around and said, who, me?
The flag was for pass interference.
All right, so after the pass interference, it's going to give Dacula, once they spot it, the ball at the 35 of Buford. So after their first possession of the night went 3 and out, here comes Dacula back on their second possession of the night, and they got a little something cooking here. So 1st and 10 from the Buford 35 after the pass interference call. Cantrell, he's just a freshman. He'll take it, hand it. Some running room left side. But, boy, the Buford quick defense comes up and shuts that down pretty quickly, but not after a gain of a couple.
Handoff was to Hector Davis.
Taking it to the 33.
Stop was made by Ryan McKinnis.
I mentioned Juan Daniels watching. His son Ashton Daniels was a great one here at Buford, and saw on Juan Daniels' Facebook page earlier today, Ashton getting in on the NIL game, and that's fantastic. I want one of those Ashton Daniels jerseys. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Another handoff. Not much. As a host of Wolves going to push the ball carrier back. That was number 22, Jerome Newland, the junior, on the carry. And he stopped after a short gain. Dottie Almeida said Herschel Walker's in attendance. He definitely is. He was introduced here in front of this big home crowd just before kickoff. All right, here we go. So Dacula, second offensive possession of the night. We're getting late in the first quarter. 1:34, 1:33 left. Here come the Falcons with a 3rd and long. Ball just inside the 35 of Buford. Cantrell going to roll out. Now he's going to try to pull it back in, and he's going to be brought down sacked. He was looking for a receiver downfield. I don't know if he just couldn't find him or what. He was able to break free of the initial pressure, but here come the Buford reinforcements in to bring him down.
The loss on the play will bring up 4th down and 11. From
So going to bring up 4th down and 11, loss of a couple on that play. So Dacula kind of in no man's land here. You're really too close to punt it and too far away for a field goal, so they'll probably go for it here. We're under a minute to go, 43 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Dacula, 4th down, 4th and long. A little bit of confusion now as Dacula trying to run a man off late, and they're probably going to have to take a timeout here.
There was a flag on the play.
Got a penalty flag on the play, so going to get a delay of game. So they were not able to get the timeout. I don't know if they may have taken that one intentionally. It didn't look like they were. It looked like they wanted to go for it, but with the delay of game, pushing them back 5 yards, that'll now give their punting team a little bit of extra room, so they'll punt it away and try to pin Buford back deep. So what was the only threat of the night so far for Dacula goes all for naught. And let's see what we got here. So the back judge is holding things up. I'm not sure what for, but here we go. Oh, bad snap. It goes over the punter's head. It's rolling back all the way back at the 25, and the punter had no choice but to go back there and fall on it, and that's disastrous if you're a Dacula fan. So what was Dacula, 1st and 10 at the Buford 35 after a pass interference call, now will turn all the way back down at the other end of the field and have Buford taken over. 1st and 10 at the Dacula 25. A horrible snap. I mean, the punter had no chance to go up and get that one. Camden 7, Valdosta 7. Jamie Fraley Seeger giving us that update. So here's Buford now. Wiki looks, they're going to hand it off to, wow, what a hit.
Pitch was to Justin Baker.
Goodness gracious. Jaden Bethius, senior linebacker.
The play picked up 3 yards.
Shoved Justin Baker. By the way, congratulations to Justin Baker, offered by the University of Georgia this past week. We talked about that on the coaches show. So congratulations to that young man. And he's probably one that you haven't heard of a whole lot, as, of course, Haynes gets a lot of the exposure and the coverage, as he should. But Baker, not a bad one, as the University of Georgia offers that young man a scholarship. So congratulations to him. We've come to the end of quarter number 1. Buford leads it 7-0 as you're watching the ITG Next Game of the Week. Juan Daniels, Juan says, I got you, Phil. Man, I appreciate that, Juan. Hey, want to show the love. I actually was going to get me a Buford pullover, and athletic director Tony Wolf said we're all out. And I bet, Mr. Producer, 95% of the people here have got some kind of green on. You think they're ready for St. Patrick's Day year-round? 7-0 your score. Boy, this is a beautiful facility. I was mentioning earlier, I was last here about 20 years ago to call Cook Buford. Shannon Brown was the running back for the Hornets. It was a great game. Buford won it 21-14. I believe Jess Simpson was the quarterback, was the head coach. That was a well of a game. Shannon Brown had a heck of a game. But it's been a long time. Now, not that long, though, since we last called Buford. We brought you the Buford-Marietta game 3 weeks ago from Northcutt Stadium. But tonight we are here at Tom Ryden Field, where it is 7-0 Buford, getting ready to start quarter number 2. Wiki. Play action now. He's going to roll out. Throws. Terrible pass, if I must say so. Incomplete. You don't see many of them from Dylan Wiki. I'll tell you that.
Wiki's pass is intended for Tristan Butler. It's incomplete. It brings up 3rd down and 7.
So, going to bring up 3rd down. Remember, we had the first down play at the end of the quarter. So that play there, second down being the first play of the second quarter. So we're going to bring up third down, 3rd and 6, the Wolves from the Falcons 22. Split backfield. Wiki in the gun, looks. Nice protection. Now he's going to throw it. Got a man wide open. Going to take it down inside the 5-yard line to the 4.
Wiki's pass is complete to KJ Bolden.
Wiki was able to find KJ Bolden. I tell you, Wiki's got some great footwork. He's an elusive guy. It looked like they were going to maybe have him hemmed up there, but he was able to rush out of it.
The Dacula 3-yard line, and it is first down and goal to go for the Wolves.
So as you probably heard the PA announcer here, going to be first and goal to go for the Wolves. Colquitt County 15-0 on Lowndes. We're just getting that update. Oh, we're going to should have a face mask here on that touchdown, I believe.
Touchdown!
And we will.
Buford.
I think it was inadvertent, but number 3. That's Traylane Maddox going to take it in for the touchdown.
Ball carrier was Traylane Maddox, who takes it into
And it will come at 11:43 of the second quarter.
There is a flag on the play.
That's the second consecutive 3-yard, well, it was a 4-yard touchdown run actually, but 4-yard touchdown run that time by Maddox. Extra point attempt. I'm assuming they'll take that on the kickoff. So Jim Blair gives us the update, 15-0 Packers on Lowndes. That one over at MacTharp Stadium in Moultrie. Some great games around the state. Anybody's got anything? Let's see. Now, so Buford in the swinging gate. Now they'll come over in the traditional point after attempt. As number 99, Mario Ventura, the junior, going to try to kick it through. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. The hold coming from Cole Taylor, the kick coming from Mario Ventura. And that makes your score 14-0. So we had that face mask penalty on the touchdown. That will indeed be enforced on the kickoff. So Dacula finds themselves behind 14-0. Checking out, let me see who all is on watching tonight, guys. Let me know if you're watching the game. Love to hear from you guys. Derek Tuthill, your Falcons going to have to get on it, man, if they're going to pull this upset. But I love the passion. D. Smith checking us out tonight. Let me know if you're watching, guys. Deborah Lopez Rodriguez. Again, last thing we had, Camden 7, Valdosta 7. I'm shocked somebody scored on Valdosta. Again, we'll run down these coaches' shows that you guys can hear all season long. So check this out. Buford going to kick off from the Dacula 45. Good gracious. So the 15-yard penalty. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Buford try an onside kick here. I mean, why not? You're not going to lose really anything. So Gregory, the freshman, is going to kick it off here. And now they're going to boot it away. So not going to try any trickery there. I guess they got all the trickery out of their way last week. What a game that was. Buford defeating Mill Creek. So far, no letdown factor, it wouldn't seem, from this Buford Wolves team. They are coming out firing on all cylinders here. Juan Daniels gives us an update. 14-7, Valdosta over Camden. Colquitt County has increased their lead 22-0 on Lowndes. We'll watch that. Warner Robins over Eagles Landing, and now is that ELCA or just Eagles Landing? Hey, watch that Warner Robins team, guys. They may be storming back. Don't count them out just yet. A lot of people already have written them off. Dacula has to take another timeout. Cantrell turned around and told the official that he needed to take a timeout. I believe that's all of their timeouts for the first half they've already burned here. So a little bit of confusion for the Dacula Falcons, who find themselves down 14-0. Glad to be bringing you the second game this year of the Buford Wolves. Buford and Dacula next week going to be in Fitzgerald, Georgia. And again, we'll see if we can get updates from Cook. Cook's playing Dodge tonight, so if they can avoid an upset, Cook and Fitzgerald will play for the region championship. That'll be the biggest game for the Hornets in a long time. Good for Dr. Byron Slack, the head coach of Cook. All right, coming out of the timeout now, handoff. Right side, and there's nothing there. Depending on where they spot him, it's going to be
ball carrier was number 25.
Loss of about 1 or 2. Then they'll spot it for a loss of a yard.
There was a whole pack of Wolves in on that stop.
Let me know where you're checking in from tonight, guys. Juan Daniel says Carrollton 14-7 over Westlake. Charlton Harris said it's over for Warner Robins. Charlton giving up on Marquise Westbrook's Demons already. Again, now we got a new quarterback in the game. He throws incomplete. I told you before the game that we may see
Cantrell's pass was intended for Olenati.
a couple of different quarterbacks tonight. No, that's Cantrell still in the game.
On the coverage for the Wolves was number 28. Kenneth Robbins.
Pass falls incomplete. Their other quarterback, a sophomore, DJ Quarry. Don't know if we'll see him tonight before it's over or not. Third down and long for the Falcons. Cantrell going to roll out here to the left. He'll throw it complete at the 31, and the ball came out incomplete. He had it and dropped it. Right down there in front of Coach Appling.
Intended for Olenati. It is incomplete. On the coverage was number 28, Kenneth Robbins.
So going to bring up a punting situation again for Dacula. Let's hope that
that'll bring up a long fourth down.
There is not a repeat of the last punting situation as the punt sailed, or the snap sailed over the punter's head on the last punting attempt from Dacula. Number 46, Nicholas Bimpong, is the punter, standing about his own 5-yard line. Boy, we've got a lot of stoppages in play here. I think we had a penalty. So a penalty on Buford. I think they had too many men on the field.
We got 12. We had 12. 12.
Still going to be a punting situation. It'll just simply move it up 5 yards further for Bimpong. Good snap this time. He'll kick it. High end over end punt. It'll bounce at about the 48, take a little bit of a Dacula roll, and roll inside the 45 to about the 44. That's where Dacula is going to come down and down it, and it's where Buford will take over. They lead it 14-0, 10:41 to go in the first half. ITG next. Game of the week. We try to bring you some of the better games around the state. Again, when we looked at this game back at before the season started, we had this one circled. But Dacula, 2-5 so far in the season, but you never know. Long way to go in this one.
Buford.
So Waylon Polk gives us an update, 19-7. I guess that's Cook over Dodge. Wow, look at the Packers up now, 29-0. Good gracious.
Wickey's pass was intended
Dylan
for
Wickey's
Bolden.
pass.
It's incomplete.
Incomplete. Going to bring up second down. Guys, again, let me know where you're checking the game out from. If you're watching tonight, let me hear from you. Again, Juan Daniels gave us that Carrollton update, 14-7. I'm trying to remember who I took in that game. I have my pick six every week, guys. Have a little fun with games around the state. If you guys get anything on that Lee County game, let me know. How about the Thomasville Bulldogs, by the way? Little pitch here to Justice Haynes, who will take it right up the middle, taking it to the 46. Gain of a couple.
Stop was made by number 8, Chuma Okoye.
So going to bring up third and long for
Down at 8.
the Wolves, rather. So I was talking about Thomasville. What a turnaround. They start off 0-2, and it looked like, for Jonathan DeLay's team, it was going to be a long season. But give credit, what a great job by he and his coaching staff. We'll finish talking about that in a minute. Whitkey, short drop, looks, a little bit of pressure. Now he'll toss it out here, running room, 50, 45, 43, 42. Boy, they make it look easy, don't they? Just a little toss out to Christian Butler. He turned on the Jets after that.
The play picked up enough for a first down.
And that is going to be a first down for the Buford Wolves. So here's the Wolves back in business. They're up 14-0. And here they come. First and 10 at the Dacula 42. Couple of receivers split out to the far side. Whitkey looks, throws out in the flats, complete. Couple of Dacula Falcons will come up and make the tackle after the pass is complete to Ryan McKinnis. That was Deshaun Tisdale and Chuma Okoye, number 8 and number 9, making the tackle for the Falcons. So we're under 10 minutes to go in the opening half, 14-0. Buford leads it. And they, again, showing no effects from last week's win. You thought there might have been some kind of letdown? Not so far. Buford with, of course, a lot of motion. This has always been a Buford hallmark. Going to give it to Haynes on a jet sweep. He'll turn it back in. He'll bounce off one man who missed a tackle, 30, 25, 20. Nobody's going to catch him. He's going to go for the touchdown. Are you kidding me? He'll go from 40 yards out. So a 40-yard touchdown. That's going to be Justice Haynes. As the Wolves are howling in the background, Mr. Producer. Indeed they are. 20-0, the score. Buford again in this swinging gate. This time they're going to go for 2, and they'll get it, I think. They do. So Buford lining up in the swinging gate. Instead, they go right up the middle for the 2-point conversion, and with 8:39 left to go in the first half, it's now 22-0, Buford. So the Wolves looking every bit like the state's #1 team. And again, Waylon Polk says, you want to know some Missouri scores? Not really, Waylon. Not going to do us any good. Sean Gum is watching from Vidalia, Georgia. Love it. Best onions in the world.
The ball carrier on the 2-point conversion was number 8.
Jimmy Payne says Buford softball advanced to Columbus today. So the Lady Wolves. How about that, Jimmy? Thanks for that update. The Lady Wolves, 28-1 on the season. They'll go to the Elite 8 in Columbus. I have said this before. That is, other than calling high school football, the most exciting sporting event I have ever attended in person as far as a high school sporting event. If you've never been, you need to go. Stephen Tate, don't give up so quick. Stephen Tate is the best tailgate guy in the world. Me and Mr. Producer can attest to that. Kickoff return here by the Falcons. Going to go across the 24.
Brought down by Ryan McKinnon.
And so Dacula going to start 1st and 10. Again, the Falcons, remember last year, 9-5. They ran through the playoffs. They had a pretty good draw. They had a really good game against Langston Hughes, who, of course, would go on to play for the state championship last year. But Dacula, a solid season, 9-5. They've already matched their number of losses from last year, 2-5 on the season, but 1-1 coming in this game in the region.
Ball carrier with number 22.
Going to be maybe a positive gain, depending on where they spot it. May not have gotten anything. Now they'll say no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Wolves.
They decided in the afternoon they finally wake up and go, let's have calls.
See, mister, if we can get a shot, you may can see on some shots the beautiful facility, this football facility they've got here. 3 practice fields behind this stadium. It's just a beautiful place. Cantrell, down he'll go.
Stop was made in the backfield by number 51, Nico Maggio.
Going to lose yardage back to the 16-yard line of the Falcons, not being able to find much of anything offensively here so far. 7:25 and counting to go in the first half. In a 3rd down and long for Dacula. Cantrell trying to set up the screen, and Buford all over that one, knocks it down, no gain. So Dacula having troubles here offensively, trying to find anything going. They'll have to punt it away again. And it should set up pretty good field position again for the Buford Wolves.
It brings up 4th down.
Juan Daniels gives us an update. Dodge County's 19-7 over Cook. Again, I told you earlier, we got an update from Jimmy Payne about Buford softball advancing to Columbus today. 28-1 on the season. And now Juan Daniels tells us Buford volleyball playing in the 2nd round versus Cherokee. Here we go. It's going to take a bounce. Be picked up there at midfield. Look out. 40, 35. They'll knock him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Buford going to start in good field position yet again, already leading it 22-0. Guys, I want to remind you, join me and Coach Bryant Appling for the Buford Coaches Show. We'll usually have that posted for you every Wednesday. You can hear myself and the head man of the Wolves talk about this game and the next one coming up for the Wolves. We also do 11 other coaches shows, including our head coaches show with Coach Roger Harriet from St. Thomas Aquinas. Play action, Whitkey, going to look, going to drop it off, complete. Going to be brought out as a nice tackle that time. By number 11, Jaden Bethia out there to make the tackle. Nice play. Dacula has played pretty decent on defense tonight. I mean, you may look at the score and say 22-0, but they've really been kind of in a hole every time that they've been called out there to try to stop this Buford offense. One of those was let me add this up, 10, 20, 34, about a 45-yard mistake on a bad snap on a punt attempt where the snap went over the punter's head. That was really costly. Dacula, if they had any chance, it pretty much went out the window on that one. A little wide receiver screen, going to take it for a 1st down inside the 20. So Jimmy Forrester says those fields behind the stadium is where the youth play and practice. I love it. Collins, yeah, Buddy McDaniel is watching tonight. He and Stephen Tate are some mean tailgaters, let me tell you.
The new line of scrimmage is the
They do it better than anybody. Oh, Stephen Tate says November 4th we're throwing down at the Coffeeware game. I want to give a shout-out, by the way. I'm not sure who that was that streamed the Thomasville Darty game last night. We'll talk about it here in a minute. Wiki, all kind of time. Now he's being chased out of the pocket. Now he'll turn it up and run it, and he'll wisely take the slide into third base at the 13. We have a penalty flag on the play. Check the call here from the white hat. It's going to be a hold on Buford. So 5:36 left to go in the opening half. Again, a lot of big games. If anybody got anything on that Lee County game, send it to me. I want to keep up what's happening with Lee County. Lee County taking on Northside Warner Robins. You've got Thomas County Central, Houston County. You got Valdosta taking on Camden County. Last we had on that was 14-7 Valdosta. So the penalty going to be costly for the Wolves here. Going to spot it back out at the 30 after Whitkey had got it down to the 13. 5:30 to go in the second quarter, the opening half, 22-0 Wolves. First and a mile. Whitkey going to hand it left side. Look out, he bounces out of there. What a play. Incredible. That was number 20, Justin Baker. Again, we talked with Coach Appling about that on Wednesday. Justin Baker offered by the University of Georgia. So congratulations to that young man. So he and Justice Haynes, quite a duo there in the backfield. He made, as they like to say, he took some chicken and made chicken salad. Pretty good play that time. Going to bring up second down. That'll make it 2nd and 10 now. They had so far to go after that penalty. 2nd down and 10. Dylan Wicke brings them up. He'll take. Throws on crossing route. Receiver goes down to get it. Complete, I believe, at the 4. Give credit to K.J. Bolden on that one. He went down and got it. Was able to cradle the ball before it hit the turf. And that's going to give the Wolves yet another 1st and goal to go inside the Dacula 5-yard line. Or right at the 5. They'll spot it. Right at the 5. Now you got to wonder about this Dacula defense, man. They've been out there a long time in this first half. Really good night for football. Finally some football weather these last couple of weeks. Going to hand off, and they'll power it through for the touchdown. Christian Butler, I believe, took that one in. Number 5. So that one's going to come at 3:58 of the second quarter. So after a 7-0 first quarter, Buford with 3 consecutive touchdowns, and they've now pushed their lead to 28-0 with the point after attempt coming up here. Mario Ventura. Cole Taylor to hold. Here's the snap, the hold, kick is up, and the kick is good.
Ventura's extra point is up and good.
So that makes your score now 29-0. Buford in control here in the first half. Guys, if you haven't seen our documentary we did on Buford and the athletic department here, I encourage you to go, again, where you're watching this game here at the ITG Next Facebook page. We show that on YouTube as well, Mr. Producer. Where can they see that at? The documentary? YouTube. Again, we came up here a few weeks back. Documented all the great things going on here at Buford with their athletic program. And you guys can watch it here at ITG Next, the Buford documentary. One of several that we have done in this last year. Also went down and talked with our friends at St. Thomas Aquinas, documentary on their program. Mr. Producer, Brandon Pham, hanging out, doing some behind-the-scenes stuff with some of the great players from around the state. All that we're doing here at ITG Next, guys, is for you, the lover of high school sports. So be sure to check out all our great content. ITG Next Georgia. Kickoff going to go out of bounds. So a rare miscue for the Wolves. And that's going to give Dacula pretty good field position here with just under 4 minutes to go. Spent 10 years living up here in this area, over in the neighboring county of Forsyth. So Sylvia Helms Sweatman is watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. Dottie Almeida says, any Buford alumni in the chat? I love it. That way, Dottie Almeida, get some conversation going. Dottie Almeida says, any Buford alumni in the chat? Or if you've got a kid that's an alumni, we've already seen Juan Daniels in here, so we know that. If so, state your graduation year. Dottie Almeida says, mine is 2011. Quick throw, wide receiver's got it, complete. He'll take it across the 40 to the 41.
Cantrell's pass is complete to number 86, Marlon Stewart. Brought down at the 41-yard line.
So Dacula would love to get something positive here at the end of the first half, and at least try to take some kind of momentum into the locker room. 3:33, 3:32. Clock continues to run. Dacula. Cantrell again, the quarterback. He's a freshman. Takes the high snap, pulls it down, hands it off. Running back with a full head of steam. Going to take it up close to the first down. That was number 25, Donovan Jones, a junior. And that is indeed going to be enough for the first down. That'll move the chains. First and 10 for Dacula. Clock runs 3:11, 3:10, and running here in the first half. So Lee County up 7-0 on Northside Warner Robins. Thanks for that, Waylon. Run play.
Handoff was to Donovan Jones.
Going to go to Jones near the home sideline. He'll be brought down. And that's going to stop the clock. Short gain, couple of yards. Second down, and we'll call it 8 needed for the first. They'll spot it at Dacula's 47. Here come the Falcons up to the line. Cantrell calls for it. He's got it. Look out. Here comes the heavy rush from Buford. He gets away from it. Going to throw. Complete. That's a nice looking play from Cantrell. Give that young man credit. That's also a nice catch over here by number 86, Marlon Stewart, for Dacula. So the Falcons looking pretty good here on this offensive possession. They'd love to get a score here and make this thing, keep this thing respectable going into the locker room, but they're still a ways away. 2:30 left to go in the first half, but that does give them a first down. Another running play right up the gut. Now they're just content chewing it up 2-3 yards at the time, and that's okay. You accomplish a couple of things in doing that. You get your defense off the field. You got to give them some rest because they have spent a lot of time on the field in this first half. Gain of 3 on that play. Now they'll go with a little bit of more tempo. A sense of urgency. Another running play.
Hector Davies on the carry. Mantrez Walker made the stop.
Short gain. About 3 or 4 yards. Going to bring up third down, and we'll call it 3. Needed for the first. Or under 2 minutes to go.
Will be placed on the Buford 30-yard line.
3rd and 3 at the Buford 30. Split backfield, 2 receivers, far side. Cantrell looks, throws across the middle, complete. Just a quick hitter that time. That's good enough for a first down at the Buford 25. Side judge says move the chains, boys, and they will. So here comes Dacula. Buford with wholesale changes on defense. We saw that in the Marietta game that we did. They'll make these wholesale changes, bringing groups in and out. So here comes Dacula now. Clock runs. Under a minute 10 to go, but they got a new set of downs at the Buford 25. Cantrell looks, going to throw to the end zone. Oh, just off the receiver's hands. Cantrell laid it in there nicely. Dude, give that young man, for a freshman, give that young man credit. He's been battered around, chased around, but he has done a good job tonight and a good job on this particular series, just hanging in there. And I tell you, he did more than just hang in there. He played a nice touch pass that was just off the receiver's fingertips. Tony Poole says Juan Daniel, best receiver in history of UGA football and Norcross legend. Sack. A quarterback sack.
Cantrell brought down in the backfield. Big hit on the play by number 30, Cannon Golden.
So that's taking a little bit of steam now. Here comes Dacula back up 3rd and long, and they'll spike it to stop the clock. Remember, they had no timeouts. Remember, they used up all their timeouts pretty early in this first half. Trip Block is watching. What's up, Trip? All right, so Fitzgerald 27-6 over Sumter, and Cook 19-7. Waylon, you're forgetting to put the Cook in there, man. But I know who you're talking about. All right, here we go. 4th and long. Dacula, they're going to roll Cantrell out. I'm trying. I got to be honest with you. That's a play I've never understood. When you roll the quarterback out to the short side of the field and you are asking him to go against the grain and have to square his shoulders, that's a tough play. And so what was a promising Dacula drive will go for naught, as Buford will come out after stopping the promising Dacula drive, and they'll come out and take over now with 26 seconds left. At halftime, guys, we'll give you a chance to see the bands and let yours truly take a break. Now, here's Buford. Let's see if they come out and try to get this thing down the field with 26 seconds left. Wiki, short drop, quick throw, complete, again, right on the sidelines. That's going to allow Bolden to just catch it and step out of bounds. So they may try to just work this thing down the field and maybe try for a field goal or even get a touchdown. Let's see. They use up, 6 seconds on that play. And they've got it right at midfield. New set of downs. 1st and 10. 2 receivers far side, 1 here to the near side. Wiki, again, 2-step drop. Throws. Almost intercepted. Wow. The corner, number 9, hit him right in the hands. Deshaun Tisdale had it and dropped it. Goodness gracious. So one of Wiki's bad throws on the night, but he's going to get away with it. So that's going to stop the clock now. 18 seconds left. 2nd down and 10. Snap. Wiki's got it. Chased out of the pocket. Now he's going to be brought down from behind. He'll get it, though, across the line, so it's not a quarterback sack. He'll get it for a yard gain, depending on where they spot him. 13 seconds left.
It's 3rd down and 10.
And now they are going to spot it at midfield. No gain. So 10 seconds, 9. Looks like Buford's content to let this thing run out. And that will do it for the first half of play. Buford flexing their muscle after an exciting tight game last week here.
At the end of the first half.
between Buford and Mill Creek. Tonight, it's Buford coming out and taking care of business 29-0 at the half. It's the ITG Next game of the week. All right, guys, we are set to begin the second half of play here high atop the home press box of this beautiful stadium. Big home crowd down below us. Across the way, not a bad crowd. You can see some Buford fans over there in addition to the Dacula fans. All right, so we've got the kickoff, but we've got whistles. Let's check the call. Guys, continue to let us know where you're checking in from. A lot of you, of course, are touching base, alumni for both these teams, or if you are from another school, maybe your team has the night off, let us know where you're checking in from, who your team is. So many of you have been commenting during the first half, and we appreciate that. Guys, when it comes to high school sports, high school football, promoting these great student athletes throughout our state, we feel like that we do it as good, if not better than anybody here at ITG Next Georgia. Please be sure to follow all that we do on our newsletter. We put out the newsletter twice a week. Comes out Tuesday and Thursdays. And don't forget, 12 different coaches shows we do, including the Bryant Appling coaches show. All right, here's the kickoff now. Going to be taken back at the 10, 20, 30. Going to take it up to the 40-yard line. So Buford, who won the opening toss and deferred here to the second half, opens the second half with a really solid kick return. And they'll have it in great field position to start the third period. Sylvia Helms-Sweatman
The ball will be placed at the Buford 41-yard line.
is checking in. Karen Burgess-Walker says, I'm up from Buford. Thank you for having this on. We are delighted, Karen, that you are watching tonight. Thank you for the kind words. Here's Buford now going to start 1st and 10. Whitkey going to take and going to toss it to Haynes, left side. Breaking tackles. Look at him go. Wow, unbelievable. That's why he's one of the best. Taking it for 13 yards like it was nothing.
Ball carrier was Justice Hayes.
Now watch that Dacula defense. I mentioned in the first half, they were out there a long time. I don't have the final numbers on time of possession, but I know that Buford certainly controlled most of it in the first half. So here we go now. Buford, after a first down run from Haynes, has a new set of downs on the Dacula side of the 50. They've got it at the Falcons 47, 1st and 10. Whitkey going to take, going to toss it. Wide receiver screen. It's complete. Boy, just breaking tackles, just running with a full head of steam.
Whitkey's pass is complete to KJ Bolden.
That was KJ Bolden on the reception over there on that far side. And he takes it for yet another first down run for the Buford Wolves.
The new line of scrimmage is the Dacula 35-yard line. And that'll bring
So here's
up
Buford
another
now on the march to start the
Buford.
second half. As they have it at the 35-yard line of the Wolves, or the Falcons, rather. Whitkey throws a little bit low, incomplete.
Pass is intended for Bolden. Incomplete. On the coverage was Jonathan Williams. Correction, on the coverage was number 7, Judah Knight. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So they're going to bring up 2nd down, 10 yards needed for the first. Don't forget, next week we will be bringing you the Cook Fitzgerald game, which right now looks like that could hold to determine the Region 1AA championship. And we will be there. Here's another pitch.
The ball carrier was Christian Butler.
Butler on the carry that time. Another nice gain. So Dottie Almeida says, a fun fact, my dad graduated from Buford in 1985, and he does the scoreboard for every home game. Go Stevie Mack. How about that? Love the insight. So that's actually Doug Swetman watching. On his wife's account, I guess. From Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the Panthers. They'll end around here. Look out. He'll get to the corner. They're going to drive him out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
That was number 7, Tyshawn White on the run.
So I was looking during the halftime, of course, just kind of wondering about this Dacula team who, again, had a successful season last year, but looks like they lost a good bit from last year's team, including their starting quarterback, Austin Adcock, who is at Point University now, playing football. But that's always tough when you lose your signal caller and you're going with a freshman. And that's nothing against the young man by any stretch. Here's the throw from Whitkey to the end zone. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Buford.
So Buford going to start the second half the way they ended the first half, with a touchdown. And that makes it 35-0. So it's going to come on just a short throw and catch from Whitkey to Bolden. And here's the point after attempt now coming up from the Wolves. Kick is up. And putting it through that time is Daniel Ortiz, the senior. Him and Mario Ventura, I guess, split time on that. Lucretia Smith, Buford High School class of 1988, checking in. Gloria Maurice Presley Dale. Just need one more name. Says, I'm watching, and the announcer, Carrie Claiborne, goes to my church. Is that the gentleman that we hear his booming voice in the background, the PA announcer? He does a great job. Yes, thank you, Gloria. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep those comments coming. We'll talk to you all game long. Buford increases their lead now. They stretch that lead to 36-0. Defending state champion, the Wolves, 3-time defending state champions, Brian Appling, does a great job. If you guys want to hear more Buford football, be sure to catch my weekly conversation with Coach Appling on the Buford Coaches Show, right here at ITG next Georgia. Ball stripped out. Buford's going to pick it up, and they're going to stumble and fumble and score a touchdown. And all the momentum right now is in the hands of Buford. That was Cole Taylor who holds on the extra points, who had the good fortune of recovering that one. And that now makes it 42-0 as the Wolves are howling in the background. So a fumble on the kickoff return, recovered by Cole Taylor. And here's yet another point after attempt now coming up from the Wolves. And that's once again Daniel Ortiz who's going to put it through. It's good.
The extra point is up and
so that's going to stretch the lead now to 43-0. Buford has ran away with this thing with two quick touchdowns. Two touchdowns coming within the first 2 minutes of the second half. Not what you wanted if you're a Dacula fan. TJ Hamrick says, go Wolves. Again, I want to remind you guys, if you want to hear more about Buford football, Check out my weekly conversation with Brian Appling, the head coach of the Buford Wolves. It's the Buford Coaches Show with myself and Brian Appling. You can catch that right here at ITG Next Georgia every week. All right, so here's Buford now going to kick it off again. Dacula just hoping they can try to find something positive. Coach Casey Vogt in his second season as the head coach of Dacula had a great first year last year, coming from Northside Warner Robins, where he had coached there previously before coming to Dacula to take over as the head coach. And again, had a great first season last year, leading them all the way to the semifinals. But safe to say a rebuilding year this year for Dacula.
Kickoff was taken by number 25, Donovan Jones.
Gloria Maurice Presley Dale says they have a playoff game tomorrow. Who is that?
Jones was brought down at the Dacula 29-yard line.
Talking about the softball team?
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
All right, here we go. Dacula now going to have it 1st and 10, just shy of their own 30-yard line. They somehow need a 43-point play. Handoff, left side, nothing there, except a host of Wolves. Leading the tackle that time, leading the way for the tackle, Montrez Walker, the sophomore. Also in on the tackle over there was Elijah Williams. 2nd down for Dacula. ITG Next brings you the game of the week. We try to select games from all around the state of Georgia to bring you a good variety. Another handoff and just no blocking up front from the Dacula offensive line. And the ball carrier, Jerome Newland, the junior, is going to be brought down for a loss.
Loss on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
So they're going to bring up 3rd and long now. Be careful here. If you are Dacula, you don't want to get into any kind of bad situation here. I think we got a new quarterback in the game. That's DJ Quarry, who we said we might see tonight. Nothing doing there for Dacula.
DJ Quarry brought down in the backfield.
As he is sacked.
Brings up 4th down.
Okay, so Coach Appling's son's football team has a playoff game tomorrow. I love it. We'll have to ask him about that on our Buford Coaches Show next week. Be sure to catch that, guys, right here at ITG Next Georgia. We do several coaches shows from teams around the state of Georgia, as well as a couple from Florida. All right, here's the punt now. Line drive kick taken at the 46. Look at, he's got some running room, 50, 45, 40. Going to be brought down on a shoestring tackle there.
Punt was taken by Devin Williams.
But a nice return from Devin Williams for the Buford Wolves that time. Brought down at the 37-yard line. So right now it's all Buford. So much for any letdown if you were worried about that from last week. This place was bonkers last week, by the way. Overflow crowd. Tony Wolf, the great athletic director who has worked with us this year. Again, we did a nice documentary on this Buford athletic program, guys. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you guys to locate it here at ITG Next Georgia, and I think you'll like it. Pass complete over here on the near sideline.
Gabriel's pass is complete to number 82, Joshua Thomas.
That was number 82, Joshua Thomas, and boy, the Buford sideline erupted. And I don't know, obviously there's something to that story. I wish we knew. If anybody knows, fill us in. because that whole Buford sideline erupted when number 82, Joshua Thomas, the senior, made that catch. All right, so obviously some player changes now. New quarterback in there for Buford is Tristan Gabriels, number 11. Oh, I'm sorry, he's number 13. My bad. He is a junior. I was looking at his class number.
The play gained 7 yards.
That was a nice throw and catch, by the way, on that last play. So several changes now for the Wolves. Getting some of the younger guys in there, giving them a chance to play. Yeah, we came up here, I guess, about a month ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and just really took a look at this entire Buford athletic program. We got interviews from Dexter Wood, the assistant athletic director, longtime head coach here. Of course, Tony Wolf, the athletic director. We sat down with him. Several of the other coaches we were able to sit down with and have conversations about, and just, again, take a look at and really chronicle this whole Buford athletic program. I wrote a story that kind of accompanies the video documentary that kind of went back to the beginning when Buford started out from really humble beginnings. When it was just a small country community and they were Class A and they went up to 2A, and boy, as they have grown, as the community has grown, so has the Buford High School and its athletic program into what is an absolute juggernaut. Toss, sweep, touchdown.
Touchdown, Buford. The ball carrier was Justin Baker, who takes it into
So
the
Justin
turf
Baker
zone for a Buford touchdown.
getting the touchdown that time on a toss sweep. And Buford running away with this thing now as the Wolves, you hear him, Mr. Producer? The Wolves are howling in the background. So does Bryant, extra point is up and good. So does Coach Bryant Ampling also coach the Little League team as well? He's pulling double duty then, isn't he? How about that? Appreciate you guys checking in with us on all these great fun facts. I love this insight here on the Buford program. Keep those comments coming, guys. Give me some score updates if you have. Oh, well, thank you for that, Gloria. How about that? So, Brian Ampling, I'm going to have to ask him about that this week. Buford Coaches Show. Be sure to check it out, guys. You can go back and also listen to the archived shows that we have done with Coach Ampling all season long. Also, we do the coaches shows with Gainesville's Josh Niblett. There you see a shot of Coach Ampling, the man himself. Well, what a great job he has done here. I tell you, imagine coming in behind the great ones that have coached here, Jess Simpson, I mentioned Dexter Wood. And you come in and you talk about pressure to continue the great tradition of winning football here. He has done a fabulous job of maintaining the success, hasn't he? Good man. I tell you, he has paid his dues too. Has Coach Ampling. Look out. The kick return here.
Kickoff was taken by number 22.
That was number 22, Jerome Newland, on the kickoff return. Took that one inside his own 5-yard line. Got to love the fight from Dacula here.
Osiris Gilbert.
Keeping it going. But how about that? Coach Ampling coaching a Little League team. So he'll be also coaching tomorrow. That's pretty darn good. I don't know where he finds the time. Got a lot of support staff here, though, for the Wolves. So here comes Dacula trying to find something positive. Handoff
up the middle, nothing doing. Going to be drugged back. Well, I tell you, Buford is really has risen to the occasion on defense here. They're playing better defense now than they did in the first half.
There was no gain on the play. It's second down.
As the booming voice of the PA announcer tells us. We're in a running clock here. Pass is complete.
Corey's pass is complete.
Number 28 for Buford. That's Kenneth Robbins, who made a big hit, but he came up limping a little bit.
The play gained 5 yards. It's third down.
Just going to bring up third down. Michelle Whitsitt-Dean gives us an update on Grayson and Brookwood. Grayson 14-0 at the half. Great games all around the state tonight. We're going to have a false start, I believe, on Dacula. I tell you this. I think that is the first. No, it's going to be offsides on Buford, my bad. But I think that is the first offside / false start penalty. And again, it was not a false start, but I think that's the first of either that we have had tonight.
First and 10 for Dacula.
Going to be a quarterback sack. DJ Corey brought down by a host of Wolves in the backfield.
Stop was made in the backfield by number 38. Tayshawn Pittman.
They'll officially give credit on the quarterback sack to Pittman, number 38. He's a senior linebacker. Second down and long now for Dacula. Big run right up the middle. Going to get it back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to make it third and about 10.
The ball carrier for the Falcons was
and we have an official's timeout, I believe.
Stop was made.
Then we got a man down. We got a Dacula Falcon that's down. And he's going to be tended to by the Falcons medical staff. Don't forget, next week we bring you Cook and Fitzgerald for what looks like will be the Region 1 AA championship. By the way, I was mentioning this earlier. Congratulations to the Thomasville Bulldogs, who stormed back after a very slow start, 0-2 start. And 2 games to start the season, I think they were outscored. It was bad. I think it was about 80-7. And it looked like it was going to be a long year for first-year head coach Jonathan DeLay. Remember, Thomasville had made it to the state championship game last year where they lost to Fitzgerald, the team that we'll be taking a look at next week. But Thomasville, after that terrible start, found their way, and last night upset the favored Daugherty High Trojans Thursday night football to win the region title, and just one of the greatest stories this year of what has been so many great stories in high school football for this 2022 season. Penalty flag thrown behind the play. Probably going to get a hold on Dacula.
DJ Corey was the ball carrier. Forced out of bounds by number 54. Hayden Gower. Then hold everything. There's the flag.
That is a hold. Going to be called on Dacula. So Fitzgerald and Cook next week will also be the following week on the 4th. And I don't have my calendar in front of me, but the last regular season game of the year, we travel to Richmond Hill, and we'll take our first look of the year at the Colquitt County Packers.
Penalty was declined.
Penalty declined by the Wolves. So going to be a punting situation for Dacula. ITG Next Game of the Week, we try to bring you a variety of games all across the state. South Georgia, North Georgia, Middle Georgia. Our first game of the year was in Middle Georgia. Lee County, Warner Robins. Look out for the Warner Robins Demons. They may be trying to come back. Fumble on the punt return here. And Dacula will recover. So a rare miscue for Buford is going to give Dacula.
There was a loose ball on the play. Recovered by number 28.
A 1st and 10 at the Buford 35-yard line.
It'll be 1st down and 10 for Dacula. New line of scrimmage is the Buford 35-yard line.
Stephen, what's that score on Irwin and Brooks, by the way? Stephen Tate checking us out tonight. What's up, Stephen? Stephen been with us all night. We appreciate that. Michelle Whitsitt Deans, I appreciate that score. Grayson 14-0 on Brookwood at the half.
Handoff was to number 38.
Jim Blair gives us an update, 39-7. Wow, Colquitt County all over Lowndes. Knew Colquitt would win that one, but I thought it would be a little bit closer, to be honest with you.
Second down and 6.
Tell you one thing, it'll be interesting to see when Colquitt and Valdosta play, won't it? By the way, I know we had an update earlier on Valdosta and Camden. 14-7 was the score. Juan Daniels was giving me some updates. Juan, you got anything, brother? If you do, let me know. Anybody else, let me know. Give me those scores. So I was talking about the Thomasville Daugherty game. Penalty marched off against Buford, by the way. So it was a live stream of the Daugherty Thomasville game last night with no play-by-play. It was just casual conversation. It was enjoyable. Handoff right side. Short gain, maybe a yard.
Jerome Newland.
And that's about it. By the way, our second Buford game this year. We also brought you Buford and Marietta earlier in the year. And we'll try to do, we got a man down. So we have an injury timeout. We'll try to bring you the best football teams week in and week out. Again, we've had some great ones. So 2 games from Buford this year, including this one. 2 games that we brought you Thomas County Central. 2 games for the region. 1 AAA champions Thomasville Bulldogs. So we try to give you the best that Georgia has to offer, including the state champion, 3-time state champion Buford Wolves, who are running away with this thing tonight, 50-0. Stephen Tate says that guy was entertaining. Yes, he was. The guy last night on the live stream just talking about everything except the football game. He actually did include the football game, but no play-by-play. It was entertaining to watch. Stephen Tate, no coffee games this year. I know. We just couldn't fit it in. We did 3 coffee games though last year. Steve, it was all about the food, brother. Stephen Tate is the tailgate extraordinaire. Dacula man being helped off the field on the far side. We're glad to see that he is up and being helped off by the medical people, although he's coming off slowly. We hope it's a cramp. Well, you hate to say that's the only thing about this game of high school sports, high school football, whatever the sport is. You love to see these student athletes compete. Well, you hate to see it when they go down with an injury, though. 1st and 10, Dacula threatening. Now, they've had a couple of times they've threatened tonight. Handoff, he's going to score. That's going to be the Falcons' first score of the night. I don't think I see any penalty flags, but we got several players there that are down. Dacula man's down. There's a Buford Wolf that's down. Coach Appling going out to check on him. Now we got the medical people for Buford out there. I can't see the number. I think it's a lineman. And there were 2 players down, one for each team on that run, touchdown run, as Dacula gets on the board. I believe that was Hector Davies who ran that one in for Dacula. Lee County 20-0 over Northside, Warner Robbins. Thanks for that, Waylon Polk. Dodge. Wait a minute, is that right, Juan Daniels? Dodge 26, Cook 17? I thought that was Cook that was leading. Gina Espinoza Juarez. Watching from Tucson, Arizona. I appreciate you guys. Again, not able to see who the injured player is. Still tending to the injured Wolf. There are several. And you got Brian Appling, the head coach. He was the first one out there to go check on the young man. Again, it was a big pileup on a run play, and what has resulted in the first Dacula touchdown of the night. And it was a touchdown for Dacula, but you had just a heap of players that were down. 2 players remained down, including the player for Buford. There was a man for Dacula that was down. You see the players now for both teams taking a knee. And again, you got several medical personnel for Buford that are hovered around the young man that's down. Again, I don't want to speculate. I don't have an idea what his number is. I don't want to speculate to what's wrong with him. We'll just kind of see how things sort out. But Gina Espinoza Juarez, great that you're watching from Tucson, Arizona tonight. That's the beauty of the internet. Just love bringing these ITG games of the week to you guys. Juan Daniels, again, want to get clarification on that. We get some of these comments we get from you guys. You know, we can't determine the outcome of the game, okay? But, you know, we do this as a service to give folks a chance. So we'll skip over your comments. Gloria Maurice Presley Dale, West Forsyth, trails Milton 21-7. Boy, that is good news to see that young man. It appears to be some kind of arm injury. And look, you hate to see any of these young people hurt. They've got his arm immobilized as they walk him off the field, and I'm still unable to catch his number. Is it 40? 40? All right, so the injured Buford Wolves, number 40, that's Javen Bennett, a sophomore offensive lineman. Good to see him walking. They'll take him to the injury tent down here behind the Buford bench. Meanwhile, good to see him come off the field, and it's good to see Dacula get on the board. Here's the point after attempt now coming up from the left-footed kicker who puts it up. And it's good. So Dacula on the board tonight, giving the Falcon fans a chance to have something to cheer about tonight. It's 50-7 Buford, 2:25 left to go in the third quarter. Guys, I was talking about all the different coaches shows that we do. So I'll try to run these down for you. And it's great to hear the insight from these coaches, just the things they talk about, their team's preparation, the things that went wrong, things that went right with the game. You know, Bryant Appling is one of the coaches that we have a coaches show with. I mentioned Josh Niblett over at Gainesville, Jeff Heron at Camden. If you want to hear about the Colquitt County and Lowndes games tonight, we do a coaches show with Sean Calhoun from Colquitt, as well as Zach Grage from Lowndes. Thomasville, you want to hear about their region championship performance last night, be sure to tune in to the Jonathan DeLay and Thomasville Coaches Show. Again, one of the great programs, probably the equivalent of Buford in Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas. Roger Harriet, the head coach there. We do the Coaches Show weekly with him. Lee County's Dean Fabrizio, the Lee County Dean Fabrizio Coaches Show. Here's the kickoff. Driving him back to the 5-yard line. 10, 15, 20, 25. Look out, big return here. Taking it across the 30 to 31-yard line.
Kickoff was taken by number 3, Traylon Maddox. Brought down by number
So
26.
the good thing about,
Emmanuel Davis.
if there is a good thing about these kind of games, is you get to see some of the younger guys get in there and have a chance to play.
The ball will be placed at the Buford 31-yard line. And it is
So Buford going to take over at the
Buford.
31-yard line. So so the Dodge County 39-31 over Cook? Oh my goodness. So we had it wrong. I thought that Cook was winning that one earlier. Wow. Well, that is not good for the Hornets if they overlook Dodge.
There is the flag.
And it sounds like that's exactly what has happened. Juan Daniels, thank you for the update, my man. Now, so we got Juan Daniels says Dodge up 26-17. Also get an update from Waylon Polk, Dodge County 39-31 over Cook. Is that a final?
Flag was against the Wolves. It will take the new line of scrimmage back to the
Sean
27.
Gum, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
Remains first down.
Metter 36 to nothing over Claxton. And again, if that Cook score is held up in Dodge, that's a terrible loss for the Hornets. That's what you call looking ahead to the next week. There's no reason Cook should have lost that game if that is the case. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. It's all Buford here tonight, 50-7. Stephen Tate says Irwin just recovered a fumble in the end zone. Appling leads Vidalia 27-13. Top of the fourth. Top of the fourth quarter. All right, thank you, Sean Gum. You said it right. How about that? I'm glad. Some of these names can get tricky. Houston County and Thomas County Central knotted at 21. Wow. Guys, I'll go through some of these scores. Again, you can feel free to keep watching the game there. Just want to catch out some of these scores for you guys. Sega Bass is checking us out. Well, what a great! Guys, if you love high school football, be sure to check out my live podcast right here at ITG Next, Georgia. 5 o'clock Monday and Tuesday. We got an injured man down on the field. Well, you hate to see that. We've had now too much of that here. This is an injured Dacula player. Really hate to see that. Looks like he's able to get up off under his own power with a little bit of help. Comes up limping, but again, you love it when these guys get up. That is always good news. Again, we mentioned earlier, in case you missed it, Javon Bennett for Buford, a sophomore, had some kind of arm injury as they walked him off the field. Again, that's not good, but he was down for a long time, and that's always scary. Always a scary thing. All right, here we go. Injured Falcon, able to get off the field. Okay, here's Buford. 3rd down and 5, late in the 3rd. In fact, we're under a minute to go.
Dylan McCoy was the ball carrier.
And that
number 34,
it's going to bring up 4th down, and a rare, in fact, this may be the only and first punt of the night for Buford, I believe. I think this is going to be their first punt of the night, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. I had said, though, before this season started on my live podcast, as you can see, Monday and Tuesdays, 5 o'clock, where we get you caught up on the weekend of high school football. In fact, this coming Monday. Well, Dacula really coming after it. Not able to get to the punt as he was able to get it off. Going to be down at the 30-yard line, and that's where Dacula will take over with 6 ticks of the clock left here in the 3rd quarter. But check out the show, guys, if you love high school football. We talk high school football. We'll talk about what happened this weekend, all these games that we're talking about and all these scores we're talking about. Camden 17-14 on Valdosta. Wow. Wow. Is that a final, Stephen Tate? Oh, my goodness. Mill Creek, 54-0 over Collins Hill. Goodness gracious. You know, you figured when Collins Hill lost Travis Hunter and Sam Horn that they'd take a step back. Handoff, right side. A little bit of running room for Dacula, going for about 6. But you knew that as that's going to bring it into the 3rd quarter of play, with Buford leading at 50-7.
In on the stop for the Wolves.
Jimmy Payne says Valdosta took a step back when they lost Coach Rodemaker. Certainly up for debate on that, right? Dodge County now 46-31 over Cook in the 4th. Camden 17-14. Stephen Tate is at a final. No, he says late in the 3rd. Wow, Juan Daniels. Newton 20-3 over Parkview. What? What is going on tonight? I'm trying to look up as we're situated high atop the home press box here in Buford, and I'm trying to see if it's a full moon tonight. All these crazy scores coming in, guys.
Buford City Gas.
Before the season started, I had said on my show that this season, I thought, was going to give us the most exciting and unpredictable season of high school football we had had in about 2 decades, in 20 years. And so far, I've been proven right. You just looked at all the talent that was coming back, all the great storylines. I mean, you look at the Daugherty High Trojans, even though they lost last night, 2 years ago, they were the poster child for all that was teams were having to go through in the pandemic. High snap, goes over the quarterback's head. Running back's going to pick it up. It's going to be brought down for a big loss. But Daugherty was literally the poster child for everything that was wrong with teams going through the pandemic. And they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I don't know how many of you remembered that or if you ever knew that. But it really was a telltale story of all those young men at Daugherty were going through. First-year head coach Johnny Gilbert, who had it made up here in the North Georgia area, coaching at a private school, and he was asked to come down and resurrect the Darty program, and boy, has he. Now, again, they lose last night, but they're still 8-1 on the year, and he has done a well of a job with that program. I mentioned the Thomasville situation. They lose their first 2 games of the year by almost a 90-7 combined score, and I may be off there, but not much. And then they come back, win 6 of the last 7, and win the region championship last night. Just story after story after story we've had this year in this great season of high school football. And we are delighted here at ITG Next Georgia to be right in the middle of bringing you all of these great stories in high school sports. Nice play here as Dacula on a pass completion getting out to about the 30. That's the original line of scrimmage. But it's not going to be enough for a first down. Going to be a punting situation for Dacula. Camden just blocks a field goal, says Stephen Tate, to keep it at 17-14. Wow. Jefferson on Loganville, 35-0. Boy, you hate to hear the Jefferson, I believe it was the Jefferson player that was shot and killed a couple of weeks ago, and in one of the North Georgia area malls, outside the mall. Just so in all the great football and and all that it is, the excitement it produces, you hate to hear these tragic stories that we've had. I just mentioned the death of the young man. I wish I could recall his name. I'm not doing him a very good service by not remembering his name, and I apologize for that. We also had the families of 2 players, 2 separate players, 2 separate weeks, 2 separate teams. 2 families of those players were killed on their way home, I believe, from their son's football games. Just terrible. Be thankful, guys. We've had a couple of people complain about this game and the score, and thankfully just those 2, but most of you have enjoyed this game, and that's what's important, that we bring you the exploits of these young student athletes. We bring you the game, and we let the young men on the field decide who's going to win, who's going to lose.
Loss on the play will bring up 2nd down and 11.
Jim Blair says, hey, we're getting close to that 50 that the Packers were going to score. Carrollton 28, Westlake 19. What's another great game tonight? Anna Santana, Buford's band is awesome. Good luck tomorrow at the competition. Where will they be playing at? Let us know. Juan Daniels, thank you for that, brother. Appreciate you too, Juan. Appreciate all you do, man. It is an honor to have you watching. Mentioned earlier, too, Juan's good. Best of luck to Juan's son, Ashton, out at Stanford. I don't care if you play a down of football or not. If you're and he is. But even if you don't, just to go to Stanford tells you the quality of young man that Ashton Daniels must be. And he was a good one here. Elijah DeWitt was the young man. You're right. Thank you for Michelle for that. $7:36 left to go in this game. 50-7. So now if that Cook score holds up, it looks like it will, and if Cook loses, now we got to see how that impacts the game next week. We're still going to be there to bring you. Cook Fitzgerald was looking like it was going to be for the region championship. I'm guessing with Cook's loss, that will not be the case. Still be a great game. But again, I don't want to don't want to know that until I look at tiebreakers and all that kind of stuff. Colquitt, Richmond Hill, the last regular season game. We will bring you that if you're a fan of the Packers or the Richmond Hill Wildcats. Anna Santana says it's going to be at Flowery Branch for the band competition. Definitely want to wish the marching band for the Wolves the best of luck for the marching band for Buford. They did a great job at halftime. We normally take a break to rest our voices.
The quarterback for the Wolves is A.J. Bush.
Or rest my voice.
Pass was intended for number 29.
Mr. Producer don't have to talk. And usually we get a chance to just take in the halftime entertainment of these great marching bands.
It's 4th down.
Bring up a 4th down situation now. Buford going to have to punt it away. A rarity in this game tonight. Dacula again coming after him. Not going to be able to get to him. High short kick. And it'll bounce at the 40 and just kind of die right there. That's where Dacula is going to take over. 1st and 10.
By number 84, Jarius Washington. Line of scrimmage will
Yeah,
be
Stephen
the
Tate, we almost
Dacula
talked him into
30-yard
coming up
line.
with us. Stephen, I was waiting for your call this morning. Mr. Producer, me and Stephen talked last night, and I said, you want to go to Buford with us? Be sure to bring that grill. Guys, Stephen Tate, when I say he is tailgate extraordinaire, I'm not talking about burgers and hot dogs. I'm talking about bacon-wrapped
It's 1st and 10 for
chicken
Dacula.
fingers stuffed with, I don't know, it just exotic foods. Man can cook anything. Bad snap. Well, there's been many of those tonight for Dacula. Running back's going to pick it up and get eaten up.
There was
Back
a
at the
loose ball on
29.
Play recovered by the Falcons.
So Buford going to improve to 8-0 on the year. They'll go to 3-0 in the region. Dacula going to fall to 2-6 and 1-2 in Region 8. 7-0 play tonight.
It's 2nd down.
Thank you guys for the kind comments. This is the best live online broadcast of a football game.
Dacula is number 16, MJ
And Mr.
Allen.
Producer going to give a little fist bump here. Brandon Pham is the gentleman bringing you all of the great camera work tonight. He's the man behind the scenes. He is one of our videographers, and he is the best at what he does, and I've told him that. The video documentaries, like we did on Buford, he pretty much shot a lot of that video. No, you didn't do that one, did you? That's right. That was our guy. That was our buddy Max.
Benji Wyatt. Brings up a long 3rd down.
Stephen Tate, where are you going to be on November the 4th? Richmond Hill, Colquitt County. Thank you for that compliment, though, guys. Who said that? Thank you for that. Belinda Hay Deeb, it is really good. Thank y'all for that. That means a lot. Lucretia Smith, this is the best live online broadcast of a football game I've ever seen. Thank you for providing the opportunity to view our beloved Buford Wolves. Thank you, Lucretia. Man, we appreciate that.
He's down at the 34-yard
And thank
line.
you, Belinda, for following that up and everybody that liked the comments. Thank you for all the comments, guys. I promise you, it is very much appreciated.
And
That
on the
makes
top
my
of the
night.
Wolves was number 23, Corbin Mubor.
The thing we love to do, guys, we bring you the football game, but we also love to chat with you guys. And I promise you, if you'll catch my show on Monday and Tuesday, we do the same thing. We just have a blast. I start the show rolling, and we look at your comments, and whatever you guys are wanting to talk about, that's what we talk about. Punt's going to roll ahead at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Dacula Falcons are going to down it.
Emmanuel Davis.
Clock continues to run mercifully for Dacula as we're under 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game. With the Atlanta traffic, the worst I have ever seen it today, it took me 7 hours to get here. And I'm guessing on the ride home, it's not, well, is that 7 hours? About 6 hours. Left at 1 o'clock, and I pulled up around right around 7 o'clock, just in time. Awful traffic. And I lived up here for 10 years, so I know how it is.
Handoff was to Ethan Irvin.
All the stuff that comes with the growth of this area.
The stop for Dacula was Chris James, number 47.
Rena Everett McDaniel. Great job. Thank you for that, Rena. I really appreciate that. Thomas County Central has expanded their lead 35-21 on Houston County. Thank you for that, Gloria. Elder Freddie J. Johnson, I think, is also chiming in. But thank you for that, Rena. Appreciate the comments very much. Camden has defeated Valdosta 17-14. Can you believe that?
Cameron Wood.
Wow. Thank you for that, Jamie Fraley Seeger. She is a big friend, personal friend, and friend of ITG Next Georgia. We appreciate you, Jamie. Wow. That's a shocker, guys. Can you imagine Jeff Herron? Jeff Herron on the Camden County Coaches Show this past week, and I kid you not, as we go to the action on the field, complete for Buford. But Jeff Herron was literally asking and wondering on his show, I don't know how we're going to score on Valdosta. And he was serious.
He brought down at the 38-yard
Well,
line by
sir, you found a way to score and score enough. Absolutely, Stephen Tate. Vidalia Brent. Phil, how about Northeast Macon struggling with Spencer in the fourth? That's a shocker. Who is that running back, by the way? Help me out there for Northeast Macon. He is an absolute stud meister of a football player. Rena Everett McDaniel, my granddaughter Charlie, says y'all are doing a fabulous job. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that. Guys, these comments, I promise you, make my night. Make Mr. Producer's night. It's going to make that long ride home a lot better.
There's the flag for delay of game against the
We're going from one end of the state to the other end of the state. But it's all right. We love bringing you these games, no matter where we have to go. Thank you for those comments, guys. We really appreciate that very much. Gloria Maurice Presley Dale says Thomas County just scored.
That's the end of the game.
And that's the end of this game.
Buford Wolves 50.
As Buford wins it 50-7. Sean Gum says, I'm glad I got to watch the hometown boys from down here in the Sweet Onion City. Absolutely. Sean, sent us a care package of Vidalia onions. All right, guys, we're going to pack it up, and we're going to bail out of here.